Hello, everyone. Welcome to our 4 p.m. lives. Yes, it's so nice to have an amazing doctor with us today. Today, we are going to talk about really powerful topics related to motherhood and kids. In India, we have a lot of misconceptions. We think when a mother is at home, she'll be able to support her kids better. But according to the latest research, which has been published in the Wire, the statistics are dramatically different. So let us discuss with Dr. Arpita Gupta what are the current statistics. To everyone who's joining us live, please type in hi in the comment box if you can listen to us loud and clear. And with me, I have an expert doctor as well as a parenting coach, and I have an international access bar facilitator and a mindfulness coach. So it's going to be a super exciting session with Dr. Arpita. Over to you, doctor.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mani. It's been an honor to be in this show with you. Thank you so much for an amazing introduction. I'm humbled. And let's move it forward. Throw your questions. I'm there to be your guest and help the audience in any way possible.
Superb. So I'm going to ask you the most common question that many mothers ask me. And just 1 hour before this call, one of the business owner women that I have been working with, she just asked me, when is the right time to have a second child?
I think one of the best answers would be when both the partners in a relationship are ready to have the second child. So that's the first and foremost criteria. Sit back, discuss with your spouse whether both of you are on the same page. So that's one of the main things. Are you able to see my video?
Yes, very clearly, very clearly.
Okay, I'm somewhere, I've lost the screen. Let me get it back on. For me, I can't see you. So I'm working on your cues. I'm on your auditory cues.
Okay. Can you hear me, doctor? I think doctor is not on the screen. To everyone who's joining us, quickly tap in what are your questions that you have with respect to, parenting and mindfulness. What are the questions that you are having with respect to parenting and mindfulness? Okay, thank you so much for that, Namrata. That's a glitch that most people are facing. That's fine till the doctor joins back in. Let's go ahead with our questions. Yeah, Shampa, love you too. Thank you for joining. Hey, Smita, so nice to have you on the live session. Namrata, it's nice to see all the people on the live here. You can go ahead and type in the questions that you would want to ask a parenting coach. Dietitian Pal Patel, Roy US, uh, Ruman, welcome. Shipra, welcome. Vyasa Bhattu, Reset with Rakhi, Team Volley Warriors, Vaibhav. How are you, Vaibhav? Thank you for tagging so many women on my post, Vaibhav, so that we can have a podcast with them. So today we are going to talk about the mindfulness aspect of parenting. Yes, that's what we're going to discuss. We're going to have Dr. Arpita join us shortly. Meanwhile, before she joins in, you can go ahead and shoot your questions related to this matter. I was going through a very powerful article on the Wire, which says that mothers who are at home have more anxiety issues compared to those who are going for work and coming back. Such a contradiction, right? Like, we think most often that mothers who are going for work may have a lot of stresses, but according to this survey, it was observed that more than 50% of mothers who are staying at home are the ones who are going through more anxiety issues. So what do you think of that? Namrata says, how to schedule time for baby to sleep so I can do Instagram live. That's a beautiful question, Namrata. Yes, the most important thing to do, I think, here is to make sure, you take your kid to the park or take them through a physical workout before we begin the session. Yes, a lot of times kids are not having enough workouts, so that is the biggest challenge why most kids are not able to we do not have enough physical stress for the child, so they are hyperactive. Kids energy is very very high. Yes, we have Dr. Arpita join us back on the live. Dr. Arpita, we just lost you for a few seconds, and here is a question which is coming your way: how to schedule time for baby to sleep? This is the question which another coach Namrata is asking, so you want to go ahead and answer that?
Yes. So I'll share something that has worked for both my kids. Sleep and bedtime, especially, is a big struggle. Earlier, the younger the kid, the more is the challenge. And I've seen that with setting a specific routine, it really helps not only the baby, but you also sleep better. So if you set a particular time and say it is 9 p.m. that you make your kids sleep, so before 9 p.m., at least an hour should be allotted to winding down, to dimming down the hyperactivity. Maybe it can changing their night clothes, bathing, eating, or reading them out a story together on bed. Anything which involves the mother-child connection as well as winding down activities. Most of it has to be on bed with no gadgets, no media, no phone calls, no texting. So that's one of the best ways that has helped me set a enjoyable bedtime routine with my kids. And over the years, I've found that, it's amazing that if they sleep, even when we are out of the house, even if we go to the restaurant, it's 9 p.m. and they go off to sleep. So it's amazing how the biological clock works.
Interesting. So, how important is it for mothers to, focus on their finances, with a child? What do you think about it, Dr. Arpita?
I think both are very important areas for women nowadays. Financial freedom is what gives them a sense of freedom of choice, a sense of say in the family, and also it's important to do something which gives you a importance of self-worth, a feeling of self-worth. So financial freedom definitely provides all of that, and also of inner fulfillment, that you're contributing somewhere in the society and the money is a return for that. On the other front, the feminine nature always wants to nurture, and that comes when you are nurturing your family, your baby, and your house. So nothing can beat that. However, men participate in this role, but females' role for nurturing the house and the family remains topmost. So I believe balancing both does the act.
So, how can fathers support mothers in balancing this act, Dr. Arpita? A lot of business owners, men, when the wife is pregnant and when they have a child, they find it very challenging even for them to focus on their finances and business. How can they do it in a beautiful manner as a family, so that the wife and child are also supported? I see a lot of man guilt also coming in. We always talk about only the mother part of it, but I see a lot of businessmen, doctors who are in my community, who are men, with the child's birth they also feel that lack, and they are not able to focus that well on their business. So how do you think we can bridge that gap?
Thank you for the amazing question. Very less discussed, but very important one. So, very rightly said, men have all the guilt too, like females. They have increased expenses, so they have to provide for the family as the main breadwinner, especially in the first year after delivery. So, how do men fare with that? So, I believe one is wealth management. So, if you have already planned to have a baby, before that baby comes to in this world, you already have 9 months in your hand. You can plan out the expenses. Usually a baby is born, there'll be expenses around delivery and then maintenance of the child, and it remains same during the first 2-3 years of baby being raised. So you can keep that money aside while you are planning and having during your pregnancy period. So that will ease out the finances. The second part is, if there is an option of maternity leave in the office and you can take a break from the paternity leave from the office. Many corporate and MNCs provide that. But if you are a business owner, then you need to hire some help in advance, because baby will grow. बच्चा तो बड़ा होने ही वाला है, you know, and you have to have that time of being a father-child bonding during the early phases. Nothing can replace that. As mother is important, father is also important for the development of a baby. So if you have to spare that time, make sure you have some help at hand who can take care of your business. You train that person in advance. So preparation matters the most. That's why your first question also, second child, you should be prepared well in hand. The finances will go up, your time attention will go up.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that, because I see a lot of people preparing for the child, but they do not focus on the elements which are needed to support their own business, like hiring staff in advance, delegating tasks in advance, planning for the 9 months post the child's birth. Also, it's very important. I feel rather than the pregnancy phase, post pregnancy, when the child is born, that is when most people need more support, right? And they do not, both the parents, even the man or the woman, they are not even accustomed to planning in advance for that phase, other than just thinking about the health and the baby, and the entire focus is around that, but they're not looking at how do they support their business in the post partum phase.
Very true, very true. You
So
know,
how can mindfulness practices help in this regard, doctor?
so very rightly asked, mindfulness does help to create more time. So it's a strange concept, but you'll many parents hearing this will say, "अरे mindfulness के लिए तो अलग से time लगाना पड़ता है. How will mindfulness create time?" So, but actually, it's kind of a paradox, because when you practice mindfulness, you are much more in a calm, relaxed space, and when you take decisions or you speak from that space, you tend to take quick decisions. You tend to maintain your physical health, so you don't lose out hours being sick. You tend to be more productive, so you get more work done in less time. And more than that, mindfulness allows you to avoid unnecessary arguments, unnecessary getting into rife, especially with spouse. After the first baby, it's very common, couples fighting. And I think you can avoid all of that using mindfulness. And applying mindfulness to money is another one of my favorite topics. That if you can actually mindfully manage and attract your wealth and abundance, that can ease you out tremendously.
Superb. Thank you for sharing that. Yesterday night, we went for a family dinner, and there was a child from my cousin's family. Lot of times what happens when we go into a social situation where we're inviting a lot of guests, a lot of people are coming in, when we're getting into social situations like that, everyone is in a heightened sense of awareness, and the child is seeking attention and comfort. We do not look at the end result of what the child is looking for, right? Even in those stressful situations where we are the organizers for everything, right?
Yes.
So when parents find it very difficult for their child to fall asleep, and when there is they themselves get disturbed, right, and the kid doesn't calm down, what do you think parents of young kids should be doing in these situations where the child is completely disturbed and they're calling for attention? What do you think they should be doing, Dr. Arpita?
I think they should be asking one question to themselves: what is of highest priority now to them in the moment? So that is what mindfulness brings us to this question again. Thank you for asking it, because it's very common. No matter what the age of the kid, when we are parents, we are doing multiple things, going to multiple programs, like doing lives. No, it's not a surprise that my kid will, hang over and want my attention. So when we are the busiest, I think it makes sense to prepare our children in advance. Always preparation in every area counts. So if you tell them the events, for example, I explain everything to my babies, like they are 5.5 years and 2.5 years. I explain them. Right now, Mama is going to be on Insta Live, 1 hour. Please don't disturb. And these are the activities that you have to engage in yourself. After that, I'm coming back to you and playing with you. So that kind of way, if you are the main organizer in a party and you have to see the guests in and out, and you have to be available doing several things, and kids want your attention, that means there is some communication gap. Either your priority has not been communicated to the kid, or what the kid wants at that point of time is not communicated to you. So it's a bi-way communication gap. And always ask for help. Have more people surrounding you to support you when you are running towards your mission and goal. So whether it's a party or a work project, always preparation and seeking support helps, and
Wow,
communication.
that's really powerful. Thank you. Guys, whoever is watching, please type in the chat box. Uh, do you ask for help? Do you find it comfortable to ask for help, especially with any upcoming event, any any family event, or even at workforce when a new child is anticipated? That is the most important thing to ask if you want to keep your life comfortable. And thank you for highlighting that. What are some other practical tips for young mothers to foster a sense of financial empowerment? Because during postpartum, if you know, 51% of mothers actually, according to records, give up their job or financial freedom or independence during this phase, Dr. Arpita. So, how can mindfulness and awareness on finances help in this phase?
Very true. So first of all, priorities should be clear. Is the mother really ready to give up the job, or is it because of societal pressure and family pressure and some guilt, that I'm a new mom, I should be with my baby, and you leave the job in that emotional turmoil? Is it because of that, or is it that you really are not interested in doing a particular job? I've seen all kinds of scenarios. My colleagues who've left jobs were unhappy. I've seen colleagues who joined back job just by, after 3 months of delivery. They were unhappy because they were constantly mentally with their kid at home. They were not present in the office. Then I've seen women who were juggling with both. They were burnt out, and again they were unhappy. So it doesn't matter whether the finances are coming in or going out, or where you are. What matters is it your highest priority at the moment? If not, set your priorities clear. For me, I had decided after my second child that I have to be with my babies for these 2-3 years. Uh, by the time my younger one is 5 years old, I'll go full time into work, because then they are quite independent. When the moment I set that priority, I was quite guilt free. I was quite free of, what others will say or judge of me, that are itna doctor pad lik ke naukri chhod di, and all of that's nonsense that keeps coming. So another thing is, don't worry about society's judgments. Just do what your heart desires, and don't sacrifice yourself for anybody. Live your dream life, live your passions every moment. Whether your baby is 1 month old or 11 years old, doesn't matter. If you are following your heart's desire and choosing in every moment what you really want to do, what really will give you peace and joy both, then I think that's the best decision. It will vary in different phases of life. But financial freedom, again, to take care of the finances, I think make your investments work for you so that there is no sudden financial crunch when, if you have to leave the job in case you want to be with the baby, there's no sudden financial crunch. Manage your investment portfolio so that your money makes you money and you don't have to work for money. So
That's
that's it.
really well put. So another question here is, when there is a pressing societal demand, how can parents learn to cope with it? How do they challenge it? What are the things that's needed on their behalf to address this issue?
Yes. I remember a very fine song from Amir Khan's movie Dangal. It's called बेटी पढ़ लिख के तो क्या करना है, बस ये तो एक गहना है, बेटी को तो दूसरे को ही देना है, something like that. I was on daughter. So in that song it says, दुनिया जितने मुंह उतनी बातें, as many mouths, those many advices, those many thoughts. So really, to deal with societal pressure, I think you have to be having a zone, or I call it a transparent bubble around you, where things come and go and pass through you. एक कान से सुनो दूसरे से निकालो kind of a thing. So if you can actually do that, and there are several mindfulness tools and a lot of tools from Access Consciousness that I also use, because judgments are going to be there. As long as you have people around you, as long as you have social networks, Judgments are going to be there, even from your own closest family members. So it doesn't matter what others think. What matters to you and your child, especially, is what you think as a mom, what you think as a dad. So as long as you are satisfied with how the baby is performing, everything is fine. Second thing is societal expectation in terms of ambitions. Ki, this is the time to make most money. This is the time to excel in your career. How can you leave all that and be with your child? So if you have to deal with that aspect, again, setting your own priority, what matters to you most is important. There's one tool I'd like to share because we are just scratching the edges superficially. It's from Access Consciousness and it's called Interesting Point of View. The tool itself is called Interesting Point of View. So whenever you hear any statement or any taunts or any sarcasm from anyone, just say this in your head: interesting point of view, that he or she has this point of view, and I'm okay, it's just a point of view, it's nothing real. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing or putting my defenses on or revolting or having to get into a fight, nothing like that. Okay, interesting point of view, it's his point of view, not my point of view. Just by saying that statement, the energy of resistance dissipates and it works magically.
Wow, that's such a powerful one. Guys, please type that in the comments here. Interesting point of view. Yes, when someone says something which is challenging, instead of reacting to it, instead of succumbing to it, what do we say? Interesting point of view. Yes, I simply love that. Do you want to add any other tools with which can help parents deal with this? To everyone who's listening in, this entire week at 4 p.m., we are going to go live. Today, I'm having Dr. Arpita, who's a mindfulness coach. She's helping. Today, we are having a discussion about finances and how young parents can deal with finances. Next up, I'm going to bring you on a tween coach. Yes, if your kids are in the tween age, not the teenage, we're going to have a teenage coach also. Today we are having a coach to young mothers, newborn parents, and then I'm going to bring in a tween coach, and then we're going to bring in a teen coach. So if you or your friends are falling into this category, please go ahead and tag them on this. Yes, and Dr. Arpita has given us a very powerful point. If someone says something which is challenging, instead of reacting to it, say interesting point of view. Thank you. Yes, be grateful that you're able to listen to that interesting point of view instead of getting caught up in the words that they are saying, instead of getting that tinge of hurt that we tend to feel because we are not aligned to what they are saying. Yes, so Dr. Arpita, any other tool that you would love to give?
Yes, so one other tip is you can always think in your head that the other person is doing their best in the point of journey or in their life that they are, with the kind of values that they have been raised. So it's not necessary that they should think like you or they should have the same values like you, but they are just humans. So let and forget. Let go and forget.
Wow, I love this. This is like really amazing. Come on, guys, type that in the chat box. Let go and forget. The other person has the best interest for us in their mind. Yes. I think that perspective is very, very important. A lot of times we miss out on the perspective. A lot of times we miss out on the fact. We start thinking if someone gives a different opinion, we start looking at it as though they have some ill intention, or as though they have something against us. We start looking at them like enemies instead of looking at it's okay, let go, right? That's really lovely. First is interesting point of view, Dr. Arpita. The second one is let go and
Let go and
forget.
forget.
So I have Dr. Chandana here, who's saying it's very difficult to practice. What do we do when they find it very difficult to practice this?
It's very, very right. I agree with you, Dr. Chandana. It's very difficult to practice. And, when our baby is just born and it takes just 1 year for the baby to start walking. And how difficult do you think it is for the baby who cannot even turn around on the bed to start walking? Yes, it develops one day by day, The baby has to get up, fall down, again get up, again start walking. And with a smile on face, the baby tries and tries and tries 1,000 times until and unless it starts walking and it starts running, but the joy never leaves that baby. And there is no loss of, it's hard, I can't do it, mama. The baby doesn't cry. So here, when we are doing something new, we have to be like a baby. We have to learn it, absorb it first, and then practice. We will fall, we will get hurt, and we will be annoyed by what people say to us. But with practice, we will become better at it. And then after a few months, it will just come naturally to you. It will become a reflex action. It will become like a glove where you can put your hand. It will keep running in your head. Interesting point of view. They have this point of view. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view. Okay, let's go. Let it go. Let it forget. So it is like a muscle. You will develop it. Practice is the key.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Definitely in the initial phases, it's definitely going to be difficult, but don't let that stop you. To all the parents of newborn children, right? This is something that you need to focus on. And also, what Dr. Arpita is saying, make sure you're planning your investments right. Otherwise, make sure you're having your source of income sorted, and make sure you're having enough help. Because I see, especially in, because I'm into core finance, with respect to, I help people with respect to their business, with investing. The biggest challenge that they say is, my kid did not sleep in the night, and things as simple as that also affects their schedule. Things as simple as that also completely takes them off track with respect to tracking their finances. And also, like you rightly said, Dr. Arpita, the emotional part of it. One, like Dr. Arpita said, please practice the words that she said. Let go and forget. It's not easy, but please go ahead and keep practicing till you develop the muscle. Another thing that we have at Fortune Academy, Dr. Arpita, we have these Fortune X sessions, and also we do retreats. What we do over there, we hit into the emotional capsules, the pain, the trauma that they are putting into one capsule and locking it away in the system. A lot of people do not address it also. They don't even have someone to talk to also when they're having issues like this. So what we encourage young parents is, every money block is related to an emotional issue. Just like every disease is related to a psychosomatic issue, most often when we're working on the financial issues, we come up with these deep issues related to emotions, the trauma, the pain. So in these sessions, in Fortune X and Fortune Retreat, we go into a deep space where we work with elements into deep mindfulness practices, and where we let go of the trauma so that it doesn't hurt anymore, it doesn't poke anymore, right? That's what we do at these in these sessions. So Dr.
Awesome.
Arpita, before
I
we
want to jump into this retreat right now.
you want to jump into the retreat?
I want
So
to make more fortune.
so our next retreat is actually happening on November 3rd. November 3rd, we have Legacy Building Live event. So those who are interested in joining in, type in LBL in the chat box, and followed by 2 days of retreat where it is a deep dive. We work with water element, we work with fire element, we work
Wow.
with all of these air, ether, deep elements, where we go into a phase of release and transformation. So anyone who's interested in joining our next Legacy Building Live event, type LBL in the chat box, or message me on Instagram, so that we can talk about it and you can reserve your spot. So Dr. Arpita, before we wrap up, if you can talk about uh, one last thing regarding finance and having newborn children.
One thing, finance. So there's one thing I learned from a financial expert, Monica Hallan. She is also one of the best-selling authors, Let's Talk Money. So she said that you should have always 2 years of backup money as liquid funds, something where both of you suppose lose jobs. So you should have those 2 years where you can survive, at least your basic living expense should be catered to. So I always kept that at hand before even I had my first baby. And I think that was what provided me that moral support, or that the adventure taking ability, the risk taking ability. Okay, I'll want to launch my business. Okay, now I want to be an entrepreneur. Okay, I want to take a break of 6 months. Or maybe if I fall sick, what will happen to my baby, or who will take care of the rent of the house? So all that is sorted. I don't have to worry about it once that is in place. So that has been my moral support daddy, I would say. The daddy I can tap into. So that's my one advice.
Wow, that's really, really powerful. At Fortune Academy, I tell people minimum 6 months to 1 year backup that they should have. But like you rightly said, if you're planning for a child, you should have minimum 2 years of all your expenses covered, which are set aside, along with hiring the right staff who can assist you with running your business so that you'll be able to spend more time with your family and having the emotional resilience to deal with the challenges which come up by using words which can help you switch your mindset. It has been a very interesting and powerful conversation, Dr. Arpita. It's so nice to meet women of wisdom. I thoroughly enjoyed talking to you. It's very most often because we deal a lot of times with students who are still not yet there. The one thing which keeps happening is what society is only like this. But when we get to talk to you, people, women like you, who are women of wisdom, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like, yes.
Thank you. The honor is all mine, and I'm really, really grateful. And I can't express much in my pleasure to be with you, sharing this platform with you. But I'm really very grateful for this opportunity.
So if any parent wants to reach out to you, how can they reach out to you?
Okay, they can follow me on Instagram. The handle is right there on the live video, or you can connect with me on Facebook or YouTube. The links are also there in my Instagram feed. I'm in the bio.
Superb, guys. Please make sure reach out to Dr. Arpita for your issues related to your with your parenting. But if you have any issues related to your business or finance, do reach out to me. I'm giving to all of you who stayed till the end. I have a very, very special offer for you. I will help you create your first 10 videos. Not just create, also shoot your first 10 videos. If you want to avail that, type in video in the comment. Yes, whoever last time did it, I was not able to check back who was the one who has done it. So type video on the comments so that I can take a picture. Okay, in the last live also some of you have done it, but I was not able to. Once the live ended, I did not get those comments for me to reach out to you and give you that gift. So if you're there on this call and if you want help with respect to scripting of your 10 videos with related to your business, type in video so that I can help you with that. Because along with raising kids, running a business is no mean feat. We tend to do only operational element of doing the business instead of focusing on the overall balance in the business. Where it's very, very important in a business to have marketing element, which is one which will get us continuous stream of leads, but that is most neglected by most business owners. So type in video. Yes, Namrata, I got your comment of video. Anyone else who wants me to help you with scripting of your business videos, scripting of your content related to your business, type in. I'll help you with 10 scripts along with making sure you're shooting them and getting them ready. Yes, so that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for hopping in. Tomorrow, again, we are going to come back with another powerful coach where we are going to work with your back. Yes, that's what we're going to work with in tomorrow's session. Until then, bye bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Are we off live?
Yeah, we are trying to get off live. Just give me 1 second.